It's a week of high drama in British politics, as Nigel Farage, one of the most polarising figures in UK political history, drops a bombshell on Reform UK just days before their crucial party conference. Keir Starmer is feeling the heat after a catastrophic early release policy backfires spectacularly. Let's dive into these explosive developments. In a political twist that has left insiders and critics alike reeling, Nigel Farage has announced that he is surrendering his ownership of Reform UK, the very party he helped build into a formidable political force. The timing couldn't be more dramatic, coming just days before Reform UK's highly anticipated Birmingham conference. Reform UK, which started as the Brexit Party, was formed under an unusual structure, registered as a private limited company, with Farage himself holding the majority of shares. Farage set up this structure to speed up the creation of the Brexit Party to meet the short deadline before the 2019 European elections, which led to their historic win. According to Farage, this corporate framework also served as a safeguard to prevent what he called bad people from taking control of the party. However, in an interview with BBC Radio, Farage revealed that he is now ready to step back from ownership, saying, "I no longer need to be in control of Reform, so I'm surrendering all of my shares." Despite this drastic change, Farage made it clear that he's not stepping down as leader, at least not yet. The veteran politician, who has led the party through some of its most critical moments, including the last general election where they secured 14% of the vote, says he intends to stay on as leader through the next election unless someone better looking and brighter emerges to take his place. This shift in power comes at a crucial moment for Reform UK as the party gears up for a comprehensive overhaul at its Birmingham conference. Under Farage's leadership, the party has become a significant force, but now, for the first time, the members are being handed the reins. This weekend, the members will vote on several critical issues, including policy motions and a new party constitution that will define the responsibilities of the leadership going forward. For the first time in its history, Reform UK's constitution will give members the power to remove the party leader, even Farage himself, through a no-confidence vote. A motion of no confidence can be triggered if 50% of all party members write to the chairman requesting it. Additionally, Reform MPs could force a similar vote if 50 of them, or 50% of them, support it. However, this only applies if Reform UK reaches a certain threshold, 100 MPs in Parliament, a figure far beyond its current 5 MPs. This weekend's conference is seen as a turning point in the party's evolution. While Reform UK remains a relatively small player in Parliament, it has ambitions of expanding its influence, especially with growing disillusionment among Conservative voters. Zia Yusuf, the party's chairman and a former banker, claims that since the July general election, party membership has surged by 15,000, bringing the total to over 80,000. Yusuf's vision for Reform UK is clear. He aims to turn this wave of enthusiasm into a political machine capable of competing with the major parties at the ballot box. But not all the news coming from Reform UK has been positive. Farage has sparked significant controversy by stating that he won't hold in-person surgeries in his Clacton constituency. His refusal stems from safety concerns in the wake of the tragic killing of Conservative MP David Ames. Farage told reporters that he feared people flowing through the door with knives in their pockets. This has been met with mixed reactions. While some have praised his caution, others have accused him of neglecting his constituency duties in favour of self-preservation. Farage has also made waves with his blistering attacks on the Conservative Party. In a no-holds-barred interview with GB News, Farage slammed the Conservative leadership hopefuls, calling them nobodies, who have no idea how loathed they are by the voters who have switched their support to Reform UK. With the Tories in disarray, following their historic loss to Labour in the recent election, Farage sees Reform UK as the natural home for disillusioned right-wing voters. While dismissing the current Tory leadership contenders, Kemi Badenoch, Tom Tugendhat, Robert Jenrick and James Cleverly, Farage was blunt. "I can't even remember their names," he said in his usual provocative style. "They're complete nobodies. It doesn't matter a damn who the next Tory leader is." His criticism extended to the Conservative Party as a whole, which he called broken and done for. Farage has never been one to mince words, but his current rhetoric suggests he sees this as a prime moment for Reform UK to capitalise on the political chaos gripping the country. Whether or not his gamble pays off remains to be seen, but one thing is clear. This weekend's conference will mark a turning point for both Farage and his party. Despite his bold moves, Farage's future as leader is far from secure. Under the new constitution, members could decide to remove him if they feel his leadership is no longer in the party's best interests. With the party handing over power to its members in unprecedented ways, Farage could soon find himself at the mercy of the very people he's fought to empower. As Reform UK moves towards a more democratic structure, all eyes are on Birmingham. Will Farage's gamble to hand over control invigorate the party, or could it lead to internal fractures? One thing's for certain, British politics is as unpredictable as ever. While Farage is making headlines with his internal party shake-up, Keir Starmer is facing his own political nightmare after his early release policy backfired in spectacular fashion. In a development that could haunt Starmer's Labour government, one of the prisoners released early as part of a controversial scheme is back behind bars after just 48 hours of freedom. Jason Hoganson, a former actor turned convict, had been serving an 18-month sentence for assaulting an ex-partner. Under Labour's new policy aimed at reducing overcrowding in prisons, Hoganson was released after serving just half of his sentence. However, his return to civilian life was short-lived, as he was swiftly arrested again for allegedly attacking the same ex-partner. This fiasco couldn't have come at a worse time for Starmer, who has been trying to build a narrative of competence and responsibility, in contrast to the chaos within the Conservative Party. The early release policy, which saw 1,700 prisoners set free last week, has been heavily criticised for potentially putting the public at risk. Hoganson's rearrest only adds fuel to that fire. Critics argue that the policy is flawed, particularly given reports that many of the released prisoners weren't properly fitted with electronic tags meant to monitor their movements. In a statement, the Ministry of Justice confirmed that there had been delays in the tagging process, raising serious questions about the policy's implementation. This is a political headache that Starmer could have done without, especially as the general election looms. The Labour leader now faces mounting pressure to defend a policy that many see as reckless and poorly executed. Will this be a stumbling block for Labour, or can Starmer weather the storm? From Farage's radical shake-up of Reform UK to Starmer's early release debacle, this week has been nothing short of explosive in British politics. Farage's decision to relinquish control while remaining at the helm of Reform UK could be a game-changer, but it also comes with risks. Meanwhile, Starmer's prisoner release policy has already caused significant backlash, raising doubts about Labour's ability to manage the complexities of government. What do you think of these dramatic developments? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates on the latest political dramas. Stay tuned.